Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host, Matt Marrero, along with your other host,
Satish Ram, who is not a ghost. I'm alive. Unlike Marcus of Queensberry, who is dead. And
hey,
help
Ghost.
star in Mike Tyson Mysteries.
I love the phrase, hey ghost, fuck you pigeon. I love that that's a greeting, right? I need to remember to do that as a greeting to people more often. Where it's just like in a group setting, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Go fuck yourself.
No, just call them pigeon. Make sure you call them pigeon,
acknowledges,
too.
Right, because he acknowledges him. You know, it's not the cold shoulder at all. It's like, no, you're here. I'll acknowledge you. Go fuck yourself. I love it. So, by the way, okay, so before we begin, we're doing Mike Tyson Mysteries. Now, there's a little discrepancy from what we've been looking at. I'm going to go with what they said, where they said another season. At least I'm pretty sure all the commercials said it was a new season.
Yeah, this is,
right?
to my knowledge, season 2.
Here's the problem. You'll see some sources list this as season 2, episode 1, season 2, episode 2, and then other sources, like My On Demand, listed as episode 11 and 12.
I think your On Demand is wrong, but that's also my opinion.
But the problem, though, it's funny, right? Because you would think My On Demand can't be wrong because it's official, but I'm pretty sure they said, they being commercials, made by the actual fucking people. Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's listed as season 2 because when I was looking for the episodes earlier, I scanned YouTube actually just to see if someone had uploaded them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were on YouTube, but from the official Adult Swim channel for pay.
Okay, so I was about to say to you, Satish,
and they were on YouTube for the Adult Swim for pay. And they were listed as Season 2, Episode 1, Season 2, Episode 2, and Season 2, Episode 3, which we're not doing tonight, but that was available too.
Yeah, all right, that makes sense then. Okay, so then we have to go with Adult Swim over, even though the On Demand is technically working with Adult Swim, it's technically their, whatever your service is, they set it up, right?
Yeah,
so it's not as if each and every channel is setting up their own On Demand. Yes.
You can buy these episodes for $2 each. I did not know that until today.
I have to be honest. I love Mike Tyson Mysteries. Would not do it.
There's
some shows that I think I would.
I'd pay money for Gravity Falls just because it's like a drug addiction for me.
No, Gravity Falls, yeah. I mean, you know what it is? You know what, honestly, I truly believe, and I'm not saying that you and I are poor, nor do you have to be rich to buy episodes of something, but I really do think that people that are well off, that don't have the time to watch a lot of TV but know what they like, have the ability to say, yeah, I'll pay $3 per episode for something. And the concept that, look, you'll buy a DVD of a full season of something for, let's say, $20, $25. But if it's a 20-something episode season, right, $3 an episode. I mean, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, that's already, it's just like, wait, what? 7 episodes, and it's like,
it piles up
I'm paying a lot. Yeah, in a way that I think it's a big luxury, in my opinion, to be like, I know that, some people might.
If you want to buy specific episodes, I understand that because, for me, there are some episodes of, Scrubs being my favorite show of all time that I love more than others, and I would probably pay to. I mean, I have the DVD set if I haven't admitted that on air before, but I would pay for specific episodes.
Well, here's the thing too. I was going to say, I know a lot of people might say, oh well, cable or satellite systems, they're a scam and whatever. The idea that you can just get what you want, specifically, but through other services. But it's still interesting, the idea of, in my opinion, paying for one specific thing that isn't a movie. Because I'll accept movies. I think we've paid for them on DVD and digitally for so long that it makes sense to pay $5 for a movie, right? Or pay a little bit less, whatever it is, 3, 5, even a little bit more for a movie. But episodes, it's such a foreign concept to me.
Yeah, I can assume that if you're here listening to us, you probably watch the show on demand or regularly on Adult Swim somehow.
Yeah. Hopefully legally, because I do think that it should be supported in some way or another. But yeah, I just don't. Also, another thing too, by the way, not knocking YouTube at all, but YouTube isn't even a digital download. It's watching as if you're renting it through streaming.
Yeah, I think actually Amazon Video offers the same exact thing for the same exact price. I'm not promoting, but I'm saying, like, I think that's it's a step in where we're going.
A lot of different services. Yeah, no, of course. Oh, no, believe me, a lot of different services do stuff like that. It's obvious. You know, that's why I wasn't going to sit here and say, you know, like, yeah, there's so many different alternatives for media nowadays. It's just, and by the way, the episodes were good. It's not like we're not talking about them now because they were bad. But, yeah, it's weird to me, the idea of just, because here's the thing, too, by the way. It's not even, if you're going to tell me, buy Gotham or buy Flash or Arrow or Supernatural, well, I still feel weird because, as I mentioned, the whole $3 per episode, 20-some-odd episodes this season, but they are 40 minutes long, right? To pay, what was it, $2?
Yeah, it was $1.99 for 11 minutes,
I know,
give or take
that's
a
what I'm
few seconds.
Saying. That's what I'm saying. I know for some it's like, it's $2, whatever, but it's like, I have food. I need food, rather. I have food to buy. You know? But you know what I mean? Like,
no, I agree with you completely. Yeah. I think, I don't know where I fall. I assume that we fall in the majority, that this, like, per episode thing is not exactly for us.
No. No, and hey, look, it's a great revenue stream, I'm sure.
Yeah, go for it. You know, if you want to do that, I would do it too. But, you know, on that note,
what we're talking about.
We did manage to see these 2 episodes. And you came to me and you told me you were underwhelmed right off the bat.
Only because it's a season opener for, Where's the Noise? Where's the Good Noise? It's, I'm surprised that didn't even come up. But sadly,
Good Noise?
No. Come on, don't do this. Don't make jokes. It's noise. Don't make jokes on the show. Mike did enough of that. By the way, fucking Mike Tyson. Okay, the one thing that I have to say is still consistent over both episodes. The one thing that I have to say I love no matter what is Mike Tyson and what lines they gave him. I can't say enough how happy I am over what they gave him. I mean, think about it, right? We fucking have the one line that kills me no matter how many times I think about it. Just that's lowbrow, but that's some funny shit.
I lost it. Because I love that whole situation, too. She said, watch you, but I don't know what you do. Marcus does magic. Marcus, do that magic trick. It's like, I can't tie up a 2-year-old. I'll do it. I was like, fuck. It's like,
fucking bitch.
Quiet, tongue pick, nose picking. That's lowbrow, but that shit's funny, though. And I was like, wow, great. Wow.
No, because I like the idea.
It was like, you're making fun of yourself, and I love you for it. Much respect.
No, I love it. Yeah, no, because you can have this character that can say, look, I understand that this is very lowbrow humor. However, I enjoy it. And it's not even humor in the sense that it's just keep picking his fucking nose. Oh, my God. But, no, yeah, like, I think Mike as a character has been consistent. I really enjoy that. I just think that as a season opener, I don't know. Also the fact that you have the phrase noise in there, as in not noise, as in what's the noise in the car? No, you make a pun. You put a G in there. I mean, maybe it's because you and I enjoy Gravity Falls, but I am in podcast on it, but I'm immediately like, all right, there's a gnome. So it feels weird where it's just, what's the noise? What's the noise? I'm sitting there like, it's a fucking gnome. I kind of stopped caring after a while about the noise, because I was thinking, oh yeah, we're going to get to know that it's a gnome. It's going to be some crazy shit. But I feel like they were trying to go for a little bit less of a mystery. Same thing with this new episode, where there was a point last season where they were actually solving, or they had mysteries, supernatural shit on their plate that did seem like, whoa, even though like it's out of their range, out of their comfort zone, but not serial killer, real life, like, centaurs and werewolves and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed that. But in this, so far anyway, in this season we had a gnome, which was supernatural, but you had to wait till the end of the episode. And then in episode 2, you had a mummy. Eventually.
That was funny.
But still, I don't know. I just feel like I was a little bit overwhelmed. I know it wasn't a two-parter, so just referring to the gnomes, I felt a little underwhelmed because it felt a bit like the House Hunter episode, which I loved. I loved the whole concept of this isn't a fucking mystery. But I feel like it's hard to continuously do that, especially not even have them question. Because I know technically it is a mystery. But, after having the episode where it's like, we don't have to be doing this, and that joke recurring, they literally didn't have to solve. Like, they could have just said, take it to a fucking mechanic. And there were no jokes about taking it to a mechanic, so it was kind of like, But some of the humor was great, right? I think, the fact that we had Young Hee there to kind of, I guess counteract Pigeon, right? That's good, because we need someone there to call Pigeon out on his shit so that everyone sits there and goes, hey, remember, Pigeon's a bad guy. Don't envy Pigeon. Don't be like, man, Pigeon's great. The suicide joke was a little threw me off in the beginning, but then again, he's always somewhat sad, so I guess it doesn't really.
Okay, so the opening of the episode itself, I laughed really hard because
about the idea of why are they all in this situation?
Yeah,
not the suicide, but the rest of that was hilarious.
No, the entire dun dun dun, what's going on? Mike is all emotional, crying. They're tied up. There's supposed blood on the wall. Pigeon's quote unquote dead in the oven. I'm like, oh god, this is great. I love the little explanation thing. That's kind of humor I expected from the show. I'm not a fan of suicide jokes, but I totally I don't know. The show is meant to be lowbrow, and I feel
the rest of it. I think the rest of it. Well, because what'll happen is, sorry to interrupt. You and I will see at least 1 to 2 things per episode or per every other episode to go, all right, we didn't like that. But there's a whole thing where 90% of the episode saves it, usually. So it's really, really hard for us to go, man, we have to stop watching this. This is horrifying, terrible. There will always be one little thing. But I do think that 90% or more of the episode saves it to make you go, all right, that was a problem. It's a show with so many jokes that they're bound to have some that just don't resonate with the audience. What's the count? God knows how many jokes a minute. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I think it's just a matter of, how lowbrow do I go? I'm generally okay with most stuff. I was okay with the way it worked out, where it was hey, just take an antidepressant. I'm like, I get it. I was like, wow, yeah, pretty much. That's actually, the thing is, you can have a situation like that where it's that's a terrible thing, but it's wow, he just gave sound medical advice. Shit. Right? You kind of sit back, you're like, wow, that was nice. If it would have been just kill yourself or something, I'd have been like, no. It would have been definitely a hard. Yeah, I would have disliked a message of hey, go kill yourself. It was no, we want you here. Yeah. So that was nice. I did enjoy that. But moving on, I'm trying to look through my notes because I already realized I mentioned some of my other stuff earlier. Okay, so I have to be honest, right? Even though I was saying how I didn't like a lot of Pigeon stuff in this episode, Pigeon telling the 14-year-old that he's the only one that touches himself was horrible but great. I don't know why. Yeah. I also thought it was more hilarious when he complimented Brittany on her dismount. I liked that he did that because didn't he say that he was a quote unquote fat kid? I would say I loved that. No, I loved it. It was so amusing. It was just don't let anyone tell you different. Wow, that was uncharacteristically nice. I was fat as a kid. I understood that. Oh no, I liked it. Well, I didn't think it was funny. I only liked it because at first I thought it was sarcastic, and I was like, he's horrible. But it's no, Marcus said you're genuinely being nice, and I didn't laugh at it. I was like, wow, it actually makes a lot of sense. He was bullied as a kid. That makes a lot of fucking sense. Where I'm not saying that everyone who's bullied becomes like that. No. But there definitely are different routes you can take after being, bullied when you were younger. You either become this, I'm never going to
bully anyone ever again, or the exact, like never let anyone get bullied, or the exact opposite, where you're just like, fuck everyone, fuck everything. So I was kind of like, wow, that's a ripple in Pigeon's character that, if believed, I'm like, that actually does make sense. But the kid, though, if you're talking to the 14-year-old kid, I only laughed at that because for some reason that kind of joke will always get me, where, it happened in Family Guy as well, where it was just like, why'd all the dinosaurs die?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that one? It's like, 'cause you touch yourself at night. For some reason, the audacity of just, like, completely fucking with that kind of, like, that mentality, just like, oh, yeah, no. Like, the idea was just, hey, you know that thing that you do? Oh, yeah, no, it's weird. Nobody does it but you. It's just, for some reason, I don't know why, that's the one joke that I'm just like, all right, I'm okay with it. Because we all know it's not true, I think. No one can, because I think the worst thing sometimes with certain pieces of humor, especially from Pigeon, the worst thing that I think I want is people to rally behind it, where it's like, yeah, that's real, that's accurate. Right? So, so let's say, so Pigeon's being misogynistic, there's some people, yeah, of course that's correct. Right? So I do enjoy that this is one of those times where it's just, all right, that's completely false information. It's just completely illogical.
No,
so,
okay. Are you talking about the dad comment? Or are you talking about,
yes.
like, the...
Yes, the dad comment, and also some stuff from episode 2. But, yeah, the dad comment, yes.
No, because I laughed. Because in my head, I kind of chuckled, like, yeah, what about a dad? But then the second he was like, plus they have to have a job. I'm like, all right, now you're just being a sexist asshole again.
Right, of course. No, I assumed he was being a sexist asshole the second he said, what about dads? I was like, go fuck yourself, because I knew it was going to go there. I knew it was going to be something, like, where it's just like, also the period joke, too. I was kind of like, it was kind of like, oh, God. But again, you have young he there.
Mm-hmm.
Which usually is the only reason why something like Pigeon works, when he's being this crass. Because sometimes he's not even being this bad. But when he is, you need someone like Young Hee there. Because if you don't, then it just seems completely off. Right? Where it's like a tyrant. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no one there to keep him in check. Or the character in check. And it throws off a dynamic. Like, that's why you have, a lot of, like, comedy deals. Where it's like, oh, this is, the straight man and the, and the funny man, like, stuff like that. You always have, straight man just being all calm and whatever, and then the funny man is just, cracking jokes and being annoying or something. You always have to have that kind of dynamic. You think also, come on, I know this, I know it, damn it, come on. It was, Oscar and Felix. Come on. You know it. Tish,
am I supposed to be helping you?
Yes, you are. Jesus.
I'm really sorry.
Just renewed it. Matthew Perry's in the show. We've discussed it. He's a sports fan. He does a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
I fucking hate you so much.
I'm really sorry.
I hate you so much right now. Not Felix Hunger Games. God damn it. So I love you, Internet. I love you, Internet.
I'm not even trying to be mean. I don't know the answer.
Unger. It's Unger, wasn't it? It is Felix Unger. Because it's The Odd Couple. Satish, are you there? It's The Odd Couple,
here.
Satish.
I'm here.
Yeah. Thank you, Satish. You know what you did right there? I did trip on a knife. That was me tripping on the knife. But my God, did you twist it.
By not knowing information?
Yes.
Sorry. The next time I have sports trivia, I'll make sure to come to you on air.
I'm probably going to know because of how much you talk to me about sports. You don't live with me.
Okay. So who was the kid that scored 29 points and had 11 rebounds tonight for the Knicks? He's big.
You don't talk to me about the Knicks.
He's 7 feet
if
tall.
You talk to me
he's
about...
Latvian.
Oh, wow.
Come
okay,
on.
Thank God.
The
Did
names
you
on the
say
tip of my
Latvian?
tongue.
No. If you didn't say Latvian, I would have been like, who the fuck is that? But now I know. It's Lottie. Lottie McLatvia.
I don't know how you can hold me not knowing information against me.
Lottie McLatvia, right? Also, you don't talk to me about the Knicks. Talk to me. Give me some baseball stuff that I won't know. Come on.
That's also a setup.
It is. No, I'm not mad. I'm just sitting here because we've had conversations about The Odd Couple, and I've gushed about it.
I barely remember what I did yesterday.
We hung out yesterday.
That didn't happen.
How fucking dare you? We had the most magical time.
I said barely. I didn't say don't.
So you barely remember so you only don't remember the parts when I was there, but apparently you remember those other parts when I wasn't there. Thanks.
You sound like you could write for Mike Tyson's Mysteries.
Thanks, I think. I don't know if that was an actual thanks. Anyway, so yeah, all jokes aside, I really don't like the gnome joke aside. I mean, I said it before.
We're back in the episode.
Yeah, we're back in the episode. We're at the end. We have to come up with skits because we'll be done with the episode in 5 seconds. No, but seriously, I don't know. I like the gnome. It got eaten per Mike Tyson mystery bad end rules. So, I mean, that in itself was funny in a horrible way. Again, per Mike Tyson bad end rules, where it's just like, oh God, his dick is in his mouth. Or just killed the dog too.
I think what was interesting to me is that, so watching this episode, I think when the screaming was originally going on, Marcus put the pacifier.
Yeah, I thought it was
the
baby.
Yeah, so you thought that too, right? And I was so confused because I was like, is it really going to be some kind of stupid thing where, because of how much stuff is going on in her life, she does not notice the baby crying, and that is the mystery?
No, I thought it was going to be like the baby's a gnome or the baby's a supernatural beast or something, because we never saw the husband, and I was like, interesting. But did not happen. It was because the gnome was making noise, probably because not only was it in pain, but it's just it heard everyone being so loud, and it was like, shut up, all of you. But also the fact that it was a gnome that could speak English, so it's like, all right, you could have just said, I'm a gnome. Get me out of here. But he just kind of yelled, so there was that. No, I mean, again, it wasn't a horrifying episode. It might seem very critical on it, but also, I accidentally started watching the first episode of the show, so I might be really biased because I was watching it in the background.
The first episode might have been one of the best ones.
That's what I think. Maybe I'm just biased because I just kept on laughing no matter what. Where it's just, did you know that the Pulitzer Prize is actually, the way you have to pronounce it, it's actually pronounced Pulitzer. Really? That's an interesting fact. You know what's an interesting fact is that you think that that's an interesting fact. See, so it's in the background. I'm like, man, this is funny. So maybe I just did a really poor, I hurt myself, right? I hurt myself by watching a little bit of that because I started watching this, and again, not bad. Just I don't think it was a good season opener because you know how I am with season openers. I think you're similar. The idea of oh yeah, with a bang. It opens up a season. There's supposed to be something big about it, I guess. And it was kind of small.
I don't know. I thought it went by quickly, but it was fun for me. Enough fun. It was It was just generally okay jokes. I mean, I liked the lowbrow comment. I liked the general tone of the episode. I felt bad for the mom. Yeah,
I will admit. Yeah, I mean, she had so much to do, kids and everything. I mean, it is a full-time job.
Such an ass, my God. You mean somebody f***ed you 4 times? And I was like,
God damn it.
Don't laugh.
God damn it.
Don't laugh. Because it's not like he was even portrayed to be a bad-looking person. But he was just being a complete ass because all he's into is like, you know, like those prototypical like
porn
magazine
stars,
types
basically.
of yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. All right. So you like this episode more than the second one.
Yeah. The second one was still fun to me.
Oh yeah, and so we move on. We move on to the second one.
They were both fun to me. They were just okay.
Yeah. We move on to which I don't know. I think it's weird because like you said right when we do our WWE shows that okay sometimes can be a problem. Right? If it doesn't kind of like excite, especially in this kind of show where it's a comedy. Not that it was bad at all, right? But again, if this was in a way, I really do wish it was just 11 and 12 because I can then sit there and go, "Oh, this makes sense."
Okay, so you're more bothered by the fact that it was just the season opener, and you thought it would be a bigger like.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not bothered by that.
I mean, think about it. Season opener, series opener, really, for Mike Tyson, Mysteries was called This Is the End, by the way, which is funny. And also was, you had centaurs, you had a lot of fun humor, and even in the season finale, right, it was like, wow, serial killer. It was some huge shit in both, at both points. So you kind of have this episode start off, and it just kind of feels like another episode. But then you have Into the Troops, though. So we're on to the second episode. And so, yeah, why didn't you think this one was as strong as the first episode?
I think I'm favoring specific jokes in the first one. But
okay.
I liked the stupidity of this one. Like in terms of sometimes they can do really, really, really stupid things and will get me to laugh. And the majority of this episode was really stupid in a way that got me to laugh. And I respect that. I think my favorite exchange, although the lowbrow joke in the first one was my favorite joke, my favorite exchange over the two episodes was Pigeon and Deezy.
Yes.
Pigeon hating Deezy is hilarious to me. Just like, I'm going to go because I don't want to talk to you. And Mike doesn't, notice this shit. So Pigeon's just there. They're being complete assholes to each other. Because they still hate each other, and I love it.
Mike literally does not. You know how some people say, "Oh, I try not to let negativity come into my life." Mike literally cannot. It doesn't compute. I mean, even just going back to the first episode, they're all fighting with each other. Pigeon, Marcus, and Young Hee, and it's hilarious because it's fighting to the point where Marcus's last phrase is, "You know what? Fuck you," right? And Mike goes, all right, good, happy we're on the same page. Just completely oblivious to everything that's going on in the background. And I love it because it happens here too. And, but we talk about Pigeon, of course, a lot because Pigeon, I do think we like the character some of the time, right? He can be the funniest character at some points. But this was one of those episodes where they didn't really have Young Hee or someone there to kind of counteract Pigeon in a way that makes me hate Pigeon. Because the way you introduce Deezy to us, when Deezy's in the picture, I have to root for Pigeon.
Yeah.
So I can't...
I agree with that completely because, I root for Pigeon with Deezy, and it's so confusing. Because no other times do I actually root for Pigeon in terms of our game.
Basically. Yeah. So I look at, and the reason why I bring it up, what do you mean someone wasn't there? Well, of course, in the beginning of the episode, what he was doing was extremely sleazy and no class, and it's a terrible, horrible thing to do because he was actually not making a movie. So the idea is, even though you did have Young Hee there and Disgust, you didn't really have a lot of the oomph that you had last episode, where almost every single thing he said was met with "You're an ass. Go fuck yourself. This is stupid. You're stupid. I knew this was gonna happen. Stop it." Right? Every single thing. But in this episode, it starts off with a fucking huge thing, and you're like, "Wow, this is horrible," and she's just like, "That is bad," and then kind of walks away. It's like, oh. Well, shit. Like, it felt very underwhelming for, like, the large thing that he did. So it's like, oh, okay. Because, I mean, again, we talked about this. Not every joke is really going to be a hit. And I don't really think it was a hit. Even though I do admit, it's also the way Norm Macdonald phrases things. He himself, he's a great actor. So when he says she did not follow instructions, right, you do want to chuckle. But the idea behind it is just like, right? So it's hard for me to get into that opener. But then all of a sudden, the second you get DZ on the phone, and DZ's being very sleazy and just saying, hey, so there's a movie. There's no movie. You're putting Mike in the movie.
That made me laugh.
You live there, so he must be in the movie. And I'm sitting there like, I do not think that Mike Tyson has a place in Untitled Vagina Project.
Yeah, that's what made me laugh so much, because, like, I know that, yeah, he is a dick, like Pigeon. But that whole scenario, like, okay, the Untitled Vagina Project, and I was like, good God. But the fact is, like, there is no movie, at least not for Mike. It's like, oh, you think Mike can't act? You ever seen The Hangover? And I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah, because that's the go-to, I think, if someone's trying to promote Mike Tyson as an actor. It's like, have you ever seen The Hangover? Because he actually was funny in The Hangover.
No, and I laughed really hard because I'm like, I love that they, they really just were The Hangover. And I'm like, right, they could say that. There's nothing wrong with them mentioning it.
Well, yeah, there's no clips. There's no reenaction.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
it's just straight up by name, The Hangover, and it's like, yeah, an actor from The Hangover can mention it.
Yeah, no, I think it's funny because, yeah, like you and I, we work as a company that, of course, we're doing podcasts on all these different shows and everything. But, we do know, like, you might not be able to mention this or mention that or say stuff like this or say stuff like that. Not really on the show, but, just kind of in general. Like, after looking up a lot of different stuff about copyright law and things like that, we're very on the up and up for the most part. So it's just really funny when you look at something like this and they just mention The Hangover and you're like, oh, yeah, of course they can. Like, why can't they just reference another movie by name? You just don't see it happen a lot because usually I think screenwriters have gone away from referencing movies directly by name in case someone doesn't get the reference. What they do is they're very, I guess, I can't think of the word, but it's very subtle, if you will. Well, Gravity Falls or some of these other shows will make references, but they won't use the exact name. In other words, at no point was it just like, wow, that looks like some pony from My Little Pony. Even though they can say that, probably, right? They didn't because it's just like, why mention it? Why say it that way when you can just have a pony called Celeste Bell Bethabel? That was the name, right?
Yeah, Celeste Bethabel.
Yeah. Thank you, Celeste Bethabel. And have it look like it's something from My Little Pony and, whatever. So, and talk about being pure of heart and friendship and all this crap, right? So, that's just how it is. Like, why would you not do it this way rather than other way? So, yeah, I think that you really could have more shows mention, like, hey, here's this, here's that. I mean, comics do it all the time. You look at Deadpool. Right? But sometimes it doesn't need to happen because, of course, you might not get the reference. But it's just hilarious where it's like, yeah, you're going to have Mike mention, or at least Mike's agent mention, hey, he's in a movie.
Yeah, it's funny, too, and I have to give, in a weird way, DZ credit because you sit there and you realize that he did try to actually solve a mystery and take care of Mike's house when Mike was gone. Like, he might be a weird agent, and like he may not make the greatest decisions business-wise, but he knows Mike Tyson is his biggest client, so he's got to take care of Mike Tyson. So when Mike's not around, he had to go ahead
it's one of those weird things where, like, I do think that DZ, in a way, here's the thing, too, right? It's one of those weird altruism? Is that what I'm thinking of? The idea that, yes, he is, or not altruistic, the idea that he is going to help Mike out when he needs to. Like, of course I'll do this for you. Of course I'll do that for you. But, of course, it's kind of, he has power of attorney. I'm sure it's like a weird contract where it's like, oh, remember I take 90% and you take 10%? Mike's like, sure, that sounds good. But how much am I putting in, how much am I putting into this business? And it's just like, oh, yeah, you're putting in about a couple million.
oh, all right, yeah, cool, that's all right. Thanks, DZ. Right? Like, there's clearly something that is off, but of course he's going to make him feel good because you have to make your client, just feel happy. Otherwise, he'll leave, and it's like, oh, crap, I don't have Mike Tyson, who apparently, in this universe, is a very big client. I don't know why. I mean, I think at one point in my head, Mike was a huge client, but now I don't know. I don't know what other clients DZ has.
The show portrays it as a very funny situation where, like, Mike at one point had no money, but it seems that he's got enough money to go ahead and, live his life comfortably. And DZ's making him money. I mean, DZ booked him a gig.
Yes. Which, was cool. I mean, it's always, tribute to the troop stuff for us is always a fun thing, to be able to send, these entertainers out there and really, help out these troops because while you and I aren't big fans of war, we're not really going to sit here and shit on the troops. Right?
No,
so that's part of the episode. Yeah.
I mean, my friend, one of my closest friends being a Marine, an active Marine, is enough to... And it's not even me making a John Cena joke here. Like, one of my closest friends is actually...
Oh, God. And his name is Brian.
One of my good buddies is Marine. So I've got a lot of respect for all armed forces across the board, and I respect their service for the country. I was going to, say the respective, companies in terms of, Army and Marine.
You were... Oh, I thought your brain was on company because you're still trying to suppress John Cena jokes.
No, but also that might have been it. That might have snuck its way in there. Just yes, I respect John's service to the company. No, we're not talking about John.
But yeah, so I don't think that hurt the episode at all, honestly. No, but though it is a little interesting, it's a little hard, I think, to try and say, laugh at the episode and there's troops there. It is a little hard, but they did the perfect. I do think they hit the perfect angle for it, where it's just let's have Mike Tyson try to do improv. Mike Tyson can't do improv. Eggs fucking exactly.
No, and I will admit I liked the whole bit on improving improv.
Yes. Did you notice, by the way, they actually edited in that whole paragraph of improv, the improv. They actually edited the word improv into the sentence.
Okay, so I thought I was I thought
no, you were not going crazy.
Watching the episode that it skipped or something.
Nope. They edited improv into the sentence where it's just all right, so what you got to do is you got to improv,
it was Mike's
improv,
line, right?
And then with your improv.
Mhm. Okay, good. I'm glad. That makes it funnier.
Yeah, it was really nice. I liked it. So yeah. It's how many fucking times you gotta say improv? Also, somehow, Mike Tyson fucked up power in that entire area, but because of that, still managed, it's a completely, oh man, good thing that happened out of nowhere, that wasn't my fault. Mike, it was your fault.
It's funny, he has no idea, but, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. He ruined the power, so he saved himself, but he's thinking Marcus's ghost powers.
Oh, God, he really does think it's Marcus's ghost powers.
Yeah, he does, remember?
Because he asked him, can your ghost powers do this? And somehow it happened. So in his head, he probably thinks, wow, ghost powers, awesome.
Right?
God damn it. The one thing I think was great, too, was the fact that I was wondering, okay, when they were at a bank, and he's like, oh, can you come take out a loan? I thought Mike was going to freak out because he's like, not this again, or something. I thought it was going to come back to him having money troubles. But the fact that it didn't, he just completely froze for so fucking long. I thought they were going to end the episode on him just being frozen.
I didn't know what was happening, and I'm like, what are they doing with the joke? I think that joke didn't resonate with me. Or that moment didn't resonate with me. That's why because I was so confused. I was like, what are we doing? And then I liked it. Of course, Mike Tyson doesn't know how to improv.
No, yeah, I only liked it because it really just went from because it's the smallest thing. He got up on stage, he rallied them up a little bit. He actually got because I'm all right, he doesn't know anything about improv. No, he knows how to start an improv scene.
And I'm like, wow, he's asking for a place. Wow, he's with Marcus. They can see Marcus. Wow, right? Marcus is about to do it. And then nothing.
Mhm.
And I'm like, hell. But and then he tried it later too as real Mike Tyson, and it was great because real Mike Tyson couldn't do it. If you noticed, it was actually during the credits.
I love that so much. Where it was just like, give me a scene, an office scene. He's like, all right, well, I was like, God damn it, they're just messing with us.
I know, it was really funny. So yeah, I might say I enjoyed this one a little bit more than the first one, but the first one did have a lot of fun jokes that I enjoyed, so it's really hard. I was equally okay and adequate with both of them.
Actually, I think I can agree with you on that much.
Okay. I like that. So we are going to continue this for now. If it does decline, I think we could sit there, which is funny. We said that last season, but Tyson really helped us out, where Tyson was like, honestly, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no.
Season 2.
It's an up and down show, and I think for the most part I enjoy watching it because it's 11 minutes per episode, and it gets a lot of good cheap laughs out of me. I'm not going to sit there and proclaim it to the gods like I do with Gravity Falls or Steven Universe, but there are a lot worse things I think you could watch, and I think the whole concept of the show is still really funny, and you can have a lot of fun with it.
Definitely. So, so we would like to thank everyone for listening in, and we're at the end of our show, sadly, but with some time to spare, which doesn't usually happen a lot, but it's probably going to happen a lot with our Mike Tyson mystery stuff, as you've seen in the past, because they're 11 minutes long. So, it would be like talking about one episode of Scrubs, just per podcast. Well, Scrubs was good. It wasn't good Scrubs.
Because of the fact, it's a tough one to me, I think, because of the fact that, excuse me, that, Steven Universe is 11 minutes long, but there's story progression, and so we sit there and we talk about story progression, character development, This is basically a comedy skit for 11 minutes, and we make our comments, and that's it, and that's not a bad thing, because...
No, it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
No, I do think it's a nice challenge. It's a nice change of pace compared to what we usually do. I feel like that. Compared to... Because, okay, right? The idea, let's say we do Monday Night Raw, right? It is more of a challenge to try and fit it into an hour and a half now instead of going the full 2 hours that we usually do, or we used to do at one point. But still, it isn't a challenge in the sense that we know who we want to talk about, and if we have to, we will talk about, oh, man, what does the future hold? We don't really, like you said, we don't really do that with Mike Tyson. So we really have to talk about, be very in the moment. What did we just see? Versus, what will come one day?
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's a little bit harder, in a way, to really dissect something, like this, especially because it's 11 minutes long. So, but I think it's a lot of fun. I had fun watching. I had fun talking.
I did too, I think.
Yeah. But so, we're done with the show. Last night, we were kind of rushed for time, so I didn't get to do my whole spiel. But last night being we did a live Monday Night Raw. But it'll be really fun talking about everything we do now because I have the time. Finally, I have the time.
That's a scary thought, but please go for it. Feel free.
Let's do it. Okay, so we've done a lot of different podcasts over we've done more than 200 podcasts, and you've done a lot over these last about year and a half. I mentioned before we did WWE Monday Night Raw. We've also done WWE pay-per-views, and I didn't mention the anime that we've done. As of right now, we've done Dragon Ball Z movies and Dragon Ball Z OVAs, along with Bleach movies and Bleach OVAs, OVAs being original video animations or original animated video, depending on how you want to flip it. Point is that they're specials. So if you ever think, oh, right, that cool Bleach special, or that cool Dragon Ball Z special, yes, we've done podcasts on all of those, actually. So Dragon Ball Z specials, Dragon Ball specials, movies and specials, as well as Bleach movies and specials. We've also done, we mentioned before, Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. We have done podcasts on those as well. We've also done podcasts on Supernatural, Arrow, Flash, Gotham, The Walking Dead, as well as, of course, Mike Tyson Mysteries and Black Dynamite. Also Pokemon video games as well.
If you want to check us out, check out some of our stuff, new and old, you can find it on our main website, thoseguysintheradio.tumblr.com. Also, you can find us on our Facebook, which is /thoseguysintheradio, our Twitter, @thoseguysintheradio, our Instagram, /thoseguysintheradio, and our... No, I have time now, and it's so bad. No, I found everything. Also, if you want to, well, all of our social media accounts anyway. But if you want to email us about different, you want us to promote you on our show, or if you want us to do a specific show, please email us, thoseguysintheradio@gmail.com. If you want to download our stuff, we mentioned digital downloads way earlier in the show. You can actually download our stuff through iTunes by searching up Those Guys. You'll see our little Those Guys logo, and you can download all of our shows through there. If you want, if you watch stuff through YouTube, if that's how you get your media, then check us out on YouTube, TGOTR, Those Guys on the Radio. And through YouTube, you can find a lot of our older stuff as well, constantly updating with some of our newer stuff. And we do Let's Plays. That's right, we do Let's Plays. TGP, Those Guys Play, where Satish Ram, if you're a wrestling fan, I do think that some of this will appeal to you. Satish Ram has done a lot of really funny creative entrances with some of the WWE games over the years that we put on our Let's Play channel. Some really fun, wacky stuff with a lot of different kooky characters and a lot of different costumes and stuff. So really you can check that out. Also, we have our actual Let's Play episodes. So, you know, Satish and I played WCW Mayhem, and we also have some stuff coming up in the future, but not just WCW, not just general wrestling stuff. If you're not a fan of that, myself and Tristan Walter have played a bunch of different things so far. You know, we played Luigi's Mansion. I mean, we've played Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, and even Pat's Crazy Monkeys. And also, you and I haven't just played WCW, we also played Dreaming Mary, which is an indie game, very interesting indie game. And, yeah, if you want to learn more about it, again, go on our YouTube channel, TGP, Those Guys Play. You can see us do stuff on there. And, of course, a lot more to come in the future, or a lot more episodes to come, with the multitude of hosts that we've had both on the podcast or we're just, you know, really close friends with that we want to try and bring on. So we have that. We also have our Bandcamp. As I wrap everything up, we have our Bandcamp, which is tgotr.bandcamp.com. Again, wrestling, WWE fans. Both Satish and I have talked about WWE SummerSlam from 2005 and WWE Unforgiven from 2005, and they're both for the low, low price of $1. And you can support us if you want to pay more. That's good as well. But yeah, support us on Bandcamp if you like. And yeah, I mean, I'm done. I did it all. I've had to condense it so much over the last few shows, but I got it all out. So yeah. Are you still alive, Satish?
I'm here.
I listen
to it. I listen to it all the time, just for you.
Good. I was like, no. How long has it been? Did I do that for 80 years? But yeah. So again, you know, thank you all for listening in. And anything you want to say before we wrap up the show?
No, other than, although this one may have seemed underwhelming, we're going to keep watching. We're going to keep podcasting about it. So,
yeah,
you know, it is what it is.
It is. All right. So thank you all for listening in, and say good night, Satish.
Good night, Satish.